How the Narcissist Rewrites Reality. Hello lovelies, welcome to Narc Free Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I want to discuss how narcissists rewrite reality, and I want to give you a tool that you can use to beat the narcissist. And no, it is not a hammer. Alright, let's jump straight into this, darlings. So, narcissists rewrite reality. So most kind of healthy people wouldn't actually really understand how narcissists have the capacity to rewrite reality in their own minds and in other people's minds, especially the mind of their intended target. So these are three ways that the narcissists rewrite reality, and at the end I'm going to give you one tool to use to basically keep yourself reality based. So the first point is that narcissists blatantly lie about things that they have said or others have said and done. Now, the thing with liars is liars lie, but people, most of us who don't lie and know that a lie is the wrong thing to do, essentially, we assume, so us healthy people actually assume that other people are also going to be honest and other people are also going to be telling the truth. We're not expecting people to lie to us. So unfortunately, this leaves a lot of people listening to and believing lies with no kind of critical insight. Like, they don't actually ask for evidence of the said lie or proof of the said lie. They just kind of believe it point blank period, as though it is a fact. Now, unfortunately, that becomes a kind of cumulative effect, because then those people can actually become tools and weapons for the narcissist, because they now have believed the lie. So now they are out there repeating the same lie as though it was a fact. This is how rumor and gossip, kind of can get so out of control, and why it's really important to always look at your sources. So look at who's telling you what they're telling you. Figure out, how do they even know that information? Like, how would they know that information? And second, look for evidence, or, ask. So you can do your own research, ask where they found the evidence, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I get it. Life is really quite busy at the best of times, and doing that kind of thing is time consuming. But I think when you're going to go, for example, on a public forum, because I'm noticing a lot of people on YouTube creating just the most random and hectic videos. So if you're going to go on YouTube or public spaces and say things that you don't actually know a fact, I think you owe it to your audience and to people to actually do the research first before you go spreading things. There's that whole wise man, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. I mean, that's not necessarily always the best thing, but 99% of the time it probably is. All right, so number 2. So narcissists will use the tools that they have available to them to rewrite reality. So as I just mentioned, people going onto YouTube, creating videos with no evidence, saying random and bizarre statements that unfortunately viewers watching will just gobble up piecemeal and not even think about whether or not it could be true or false. As a former journalist, I understand the importance of research and integrity and vetting your sources, having multiple sources. So it's quite distressing to see these people who literally just have a thought and then decide to record themselves yapping about that thought as though they know something about it. Whereas any content that I've put out has always been very well researched, thought through, and planned out. All right, so point 3, not to make it all about me. Obviously, I've got stuff going on online at the moment, but, there is a much bigger picture going on, in all of our lives with these people. So, like I said, I really don't want to make this about me. All right, so point number 3. So if the narcissist can get you to agree to the lie in their mind, then it becomes real. Now, this is fascinating. This is one of those things, like narcissists and the truth. Like I said, they don't go hand in hand. They're very, very slippery with the truth. They use kind of ambiguity. They say things like, they don't make defined statements. They make statements that could mean one thing, but it could mean another. And they don't really like clarity. So they're kind of a bit rubbery when it comes to the truth. So when they're lying, if they can get you to admit or agree to the lie, even if you're doing it just to shut them up and to get away from the situation, in their mind, it's become now the truth. So if they are being abusive towards you and then they manage to turn it around and say that, no, that actually you're the one that's being abusive, if you end up apologizing, for example, for hurting someone's feelings or apologizing, for any miscommunication, they will take that apology and run with it. That means you are the abuser and they are the victim, and they love playing the victim. And this is one of the ways that they rewrite reality. They love this role reversal. And unfortunately, as caring people who care about our partners or our friends or whoever we're in the relationship with a narcissist with, unfortunately, we will say, look, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings and I'm sorry, or I'm sorry that this got so out of hand, or whatever it is, and that's all they need. Once you apologize, and you think you're doing the good thing by apologising. You think you're being a decent human being. But this is the problem, is that being a decent human being around a narcissist just leaves you more vulnerable to their games and their manipulations. And it leaves you more open, essentially, to be damaged by them. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to get close with you. They don't want to understand you. They don't want resolution. What they want is fuel. And they get fuel from fighting and arguing. They love this stuff. They love it. Remember, the thing that a narcissist hates the most is quiet, calm, stability, or even worse, being ignored, no one paying them any attention. The things that a narcissist will do to get your attention, that's another video in and of itself, darlings. All right, let's get down to the last, the tool to beat the narcissist. As I said, I don't mean a hammer. So anyone who's thinking that I'm suggesting anything violent, come on now, get a grip. All right, so the tool to use is a diary. Keep a diary. Write this stuff down. Write the dates, times, dates, who was involved, what got said, what was the outcome. It's very important to if you have police involved or if you have third parties involved, it's very important to document all of this stuff. Not only for any kind of court proceedings that may further on down the road end up happening, but for your own mental well-being and mental stability. As I said, the narcissist doesn't think twice about changing the story to fit their narrative. They will just lie and lie upon lies. They don't even keep their lies straight. When you do any when you spend any actual amount of time kind of double checking their lies, you'll find out that they are lying. But because narcissists keep everyone in a state of anxiety and panic, they keep you in this state of like, it's now. We're having this conversation now. We have to talk about it now. Because they keep people in that state, and your nervous system is triggered, people don't have the time, like I said, and space to think things through critically and logically and consider evidence. They are kind of put on the spot and being made to feel a certain way, because the narcissist will manipulate your feelings. And there's ways to do this. So in media, just quickly, in media, if you want to make... you want to write a story, right? There's no such thing as unbiased reporting anymore, unfortunately. People's bias comes through in their words. And so in media, you'll hear stories like, the unemployed man broke into the world bodybuilding champion's house, and lay next to him in the bed, terrorizing him and his family. Right? Now, that sounds like, oh my God, an unemployed person, so automatically he's a loser, right? He doesn't have a job, and he came into this world champion's bodybuilder's house and, terrorized him and his family, when in actuality the story might have actually just been a homeless person broke into someone's house, not realizing that they were in there, and, fell asleep on the floor, and the people got a fright when they woke up. You know, words can be twisted to create emotional reactions in people, and narcissists will do this. So when you're online and when you're watching things and hearing things, if you listen for the little, like I said, these little kind of emotional triggers in the language that narcissists use, you'll start seeing that they're deliberately, you know, trying to make you view yourself or other people in a certain way. They're not asking you to critically look at the evidence and consider things from a different perspective. They're not asking for that. They're asking for your undivided loyalty. They want you to think like them, act like them. And they will often, you know, say things like, oh, if you believe that, then you're sick in the head too. Or if you think like this, you know, you're either with them or against them, essentially. There's no kind of, you know, just, I don't know, there's just no normal, healthy kind of behaviour or boundaries. But the narcissists think that that's normal. And unfortunately, when you're kind of fresh out of narcissistic abuse, abusive relationships, you know, you probably still have some residue from that relationship and may actually think, yeah, that's a normal way for people to communicate or behave. But as I said, this is not reality. In real life, that's not how people or healthy people respond and react. You know, that's how narcissists react. That's how narcissists respond. So keep a journal, like I said, write this stuff out so you're keeping on top of it. Because also one final point is to remember that when you're experiencing narcissistic abuse, it literally messes with your memory and your kind of cognitive abilities. So give your brain the support that it needs. So even if you don't ever challenge the narcissist, even if you don't ever say, well, hang on, no, you know, you didn't say that, or this is not what happened, or whatever, even if you don't ever challenge them, at least you know what is real and what is not. Because there's nothing worse than when, you know, that the narcissist gaslights and manipulates and convinces you that what they did wrong, you know, they didn't actually do, and that you somehow did something that was worse to them. So highly manipulative, dangerous people to be around. Yeah, I've got some more videos linked here. Thank you for listening, and get narc free and stay narc free.